Hello and welcome to the long-awaited-ish review of round 8 of the GTR2 GT series. Yes, it's delayed again, I know, but we're getting progress done. And that's the important bit here. As you can see, Michelin on pole position, the racing in second place, and the BMWs, they're kind of even with the other cars right now, actually. So, in the attempt of making the BMW underpowered, we've actually made them even. And we have the greatest camera ever for the start. I could not have thought of a better camera to do here. And we're not at all product placement here. Not at all about that. But we're off, and Michelin on pole position, of course, is going to be first to enter the first corner. For obvious reasons, really. The question is, in the battle for second, can Side get around the race on the outside? Not quite. But a good attempt. And, well, that's pretty much all that happened at the start. At the very start. I think Cording lost one position right at the get-go. But apart from that, not too much happened, really. Everybody was kind of behaving themselves. Which is amazing, because, well, we are talking about the GTR2 AI here, and they're not exactly known for that kind of behavior, shall we say. So now of course the question becomes, for how long can Laracy hold the Porsches behind him, and might he even be able to challenge Michelin, because as you see he's right up there with him. That's going to be the main question right now. And well, of course I know the answer to that, but I'm not going to tell you. I want you to watch through this whole video just so you can maybe get to know what actually happens. And just as I say that, we cut to probably one of the most important scenes, at least in the first half of the race, as on lap 3, Laracy just gives a slight tap to Michelin, which is just enough to get him back ahead, or will get him ahead. And that of course sees Michelin in second place, and now we have a whole train of Porsches following the one Ferrari. He has got a bit of a gap, but it's not much, and as we all know, the Porsches are extremely fast on the long straights, and well, let's be honest here. Road America is a lot of straights combined by a few corners. That's pretty much how you could describe it. As we go back past the Genius camera. And, well, you can see Michelin's caught right back up to him again. He's not that far away. One mistake and he'll be back ahead. So the question now is, can Laracy keep him behind? Might we actually see a Ferrari taking victory? I, again, of course, know if we will, but I am still not going to tell you. Unless you give me $1 million, and I might tell you. Yeah, $1 million, and I'll let you know as soon as the race finishes, where you finish and how everything else turns out. But, an attempt from Michelin here. Not quite close enough, but he is just letting Laracy know that he's right there. And, well, that could put some psychological pressure on him if he was a human, because he is an AI, and AI can't even psychology, and well, and besides, well, as I've said, GTR2 AI, even if AI could psychology, they would likely, yeah, I don't even know what they'd do, really. Who knows? I don't. But yeah, Laracy is holding his own for now. Question is for how long. As you can see, Michelin gets quite a good run off the last corner, and I've just noticed that the red track on the back of those marker signs there look a bit like cart space. Well, maybe that is where Polyphony Digital got the idea of the cart space. They just looked at these ports and were like, we could make that into a kart track. Anyway, on the same lap, actually just at the same time what we just saw, here is Cohen and Side. Cohen got up the inside of Side, but can't Side hold it? No, he can't. He gives up. That is Cohen into P3. About the same place he would normally be, because if the Porsches manages to get past the Ferrari, that will leave Cohen in P2, which would be, I think, third time in a row, maybe? No, wait. Well, he has been very good recently, though. That is the important part here. That's the point I'm trying to make. And now he's gonna give Michelin some psychological pressure. But moving on, because nothing really happens in that battle, we're now a little further on, not too much. And we have Costa, whose AI has again forgotten how to forget how to go faster, and now actually overtakes a Porsche. And nearly gets Corning as well, Porsche being visible of course. And that would be pretty much one of the, you know what, I think I said this before, but the AI sort of has its standard overtaking maneuvers on each course. And what we just saw there would pretty much be one of them. Just hope for the AI to go a little bit too wide into that corner, and now Costa goes on Corning as well. So that is 2 positions gained. That should see him in the region of the top 5. Which is not bad at all. I mean, considering we are talking about Costa here. And lap 9, and Cohen has a big sideways moment coming into the final corner. Manages to steer together though. And great save there. But that has cost him some time. Not too much, as you can see, obviously. And in fact, not too much to a few laps later. He's gonna just dive up the inside of Michelin, similar to what we just saw. And yep, that was pretty much the standard overtaking maneuver. Now Michelin's under attack from side as we're back at kart space corner. And well, Michelin manages to at least not lose too many positions there. But as you just saw, he kind of dropped back a little later. And on lap 17, Cohen is really pushing for it again. He has had a few attempts, but it's only now that he actually manages to get himself up the inside of Loresi. And once the Porsche and the Ferrari are about side by side, the Porsches just leave the Ferrari for the dust. It is incredibly fast in a straight line. It is brilliant mid-speed acceleration, and that's what allows him to do this. In other cars you'd be pretty much side by side still, but well, this is just the Porsche at work. This is a regular work day for the Porsches. And a lap later, and things are about to get a lot worse for Loresi as we see the standard passing maneuver again, this time by Saida. So that sees him up into P2 at the moment. And Loresi, of course, then down to P3 as we enter kart space corner again, which happened quite a few times. Loresi tries to go around the outside there, but just a little bit of contact. And well, now he's just gonna have to settle for third, because that's not gonna be particularly helpful. And as we move on again, just to the lap later, now Saida is going to try to get up the inside of Cohen and actually manages to do so, and that is the pass for the lead of the race. And a brilliant maneuver actually, and not one of those you'd see too often in this race. And now things get a lot worse for Cohen a lap later. And this was pretty much what happened every few laps. Somebody gets past someone someplace and it just reverses itself there. Jumping ahead, because we do that, we would find that Losa in the BMW would actually be leading the race. For reasons you can see to the right of your screen right now. Everyone else would be coming into the pits, but for some reason Losa decided that it would be faster not to. Or at least for a few more laps. He somehow managed to do some 40-ish laps on the fuel and the tires. And the question now, of course, is, because Cohen pitted in a few laps earlier, the question now is, has Saida's gamble of staying out a little longer helped him? If he comes out ahead of Cohen, he has pretty much won the race. And there is Cohen coming at the front line, and nope, that's not going to work for him. Saida's going to stay ahead and pretty much provisionally win the race, unless some technical problems happen or traffic comes up. But it looks like, for once, the strategy of staying out for a few more laps to maybe not get in that much traffic might actually work. because usually the logic here is that normally they would actually, well, the drivers that would pit in earlier would of course have better tires while everyone else is on worse tires, and they would be faster and they would more often win. At least that's what the history has shown us, but not this time, as Saita says screw all the statistics and takes a victory here. And I've just completely failed at that, but point is, Saita actually wins with the old-fashioned-ish strategy and confirmation of the results. Saita in first, Cohen just a little later, and Costa actually manages to take a podium position. That's just as big news as Saita's victory here, because for every other race this season, Costa has just forgotten how to be fast, and recently he's gotten on form, and this, I must say, is pretty much the culmination of that. So congratulations to both Saita for the victory, Cohen for his second place, a brilliant result there, and Costa on his third, and Cohen's second place actually lifts him to the lead of the championship, and that's the first time a BMW is not leading. I guess it's time to say we can begin to roll back the weight advantage of the Porsche and the slight horsepower disadvantage of the BMW. They don't need much more power than they have, but we can take it back a little. So that is pretty much it from me. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.